In Alive, Jun-woo is one of us, just a person that gets on the internet and plays video games all day. It's during one of his regular mornings that his friends say, "Hey, something's not right. Check out the news." So, Jun-woo checks out the news and finds out, in a completely believable twist in 2020, that zombies have appeared everywhere. To confirm this fact, he walks over to the window and finds complete and utter chaos. Apparently, the zombies not only appeared overnight, they also forced everyone in the apartment complex that he lives in to run out into the streets and try to escape whatever it is that's going on. The situation's a little weird if you think about it, but that's one of the keys to enjoying this movie. Don't think about it. There's things in there you shouldn't think about. Just enjoy it. It's not supposed to make that much sense, I guess. Anyway, Jun-woo ends up locked in his apartment with zombies prowling around. There's nowhere to go. There's very little food left. So the choice comes down to, what will Jun-woo do? Stay alive? Or choose something else that's pretty dark? Alive is a charming, if slightly average movie, made seemingly better by a matter of timing. Its theatrical release coincides with the much-anticipated zombie movie Peninsula, which is a sequel to Train to Busan and a movie that I have reviewed. So, due to that, most of my thoughts on Alive are comparisons to that absolute train wreck that is Peninsula. While Alive is composed of many of the same elements as Peninsula, zombies, danger, action, emotions, family, with Alive, we see instead how trying new things and making characters relatable and likable makes all the difference in how a movie is received. Alive, I've received very positively. Peninsula, I was not a fan of. That all said, I did have issues with Alive in some parts, specifically the beginning and the ending. The beginning drags a bit as we go through that typical, if sudden, but who really cares, we've seen this a lot, appearance of zombies and the resulting chaos that comes with them. We've seen it a million times now. They have to get it out of the way, right? So it takes a while for Alive to really gain steam, but once it does get going, it's a decent ride. I enjoyed the study of the characters and their isolation, along with their depictions of hunger and thirst and suicidal ideation. The use of technology in the movie was also inventive. South Korea is one of the most technologically advanced places on Earth, so it makes sense that this guy would be using these cool little toys and stuff to look around and see what's going on and combat the zombies. Even though most of the ride is smooth, where Alive ends up is pretty stupid. And it totally broke my suspension of disbelief. That suspension was previously threatened by another scene in the movie earlier on, which left me wondering how something was possible, instead of paying attention to the scene itself in the movie. But I was able to maintain my interest of the movie by the strength of the movie's middle. It had a lot of good parts that made up for that one part where I was just like, huh? Unfortunately, the ending seems to have just run out of ideas, and it results in events that just aren't acceptable as possible. Even in a world where the living are turning into flesh-eating monsters. I'm not going to spoil it, but I think you'll probably find one or two moments in that ending that make no sense. It's unfortunate because, without those problems, Alive could easily be a great movie, instead of just okay. Interestingly, the movie was created from a Hollywood script by Matt Naylor. Naylor helped adapt the Korean movie Alive, and there is also going to be an American movie version of that same script coming in October 2020, called Alone. Well, they changed 2 letters, I guess. It may be interesting to see how much the 2 movies differ and match. I'm not too terribly interested in it, but it's there if you want to see it. You've got your pick now. You want to eat Korean one night and then eat a hamburger the next. There you go. You got your movies for both nights. Oh, man. That said, Alive is a fairly average movie, a fairly good zombie movie, and a decent investment of your time. I give it 3 boiling ramen pots out of 5. This one won't kill you.
All of these things are designed to frighten a monkey.